astrology with
Welcome back
Amy.
to my channel. My name is Emilia. So today I'll be talking about the effect of Saturn transit in Pisces for your rising and moon sign. So previously I talked about the effect of Saturn transit in Pisces for Cancer rising and moon sign. So today I'll be focusing on your rising and moon sign. So let's go to the topic of itself without wasting much of our time. So here's my Vedic chart. Here's my Vedic chart. So the Leo comes here. So the Leo comes here. So Saturn comes here. Saturn transit the 8th house of Leo rising and moon sign. So if you have Leo as your rising sign or moon sign, so Saturn comes to your 12th to your 8th house. It comes in Pisces in your 8th house. So what is the effect of Saturn transit in 8th house for Leo rising or moon sign people? Now here's the thing. We need to understand what the 8th house is about, because the 8th house is more of a complex kind of like house. It's a very sensitive house, so we need to understand what it means. So the 8th house is about rebirth. The 8th house is about inheritance. The 8th house is about mysteries. The 8th house is about hidden traumas. And pains. And the 8th house is also about transformations. So these are some of the few things related to the 8th house. So what is the effect of Saturn transit in the 8th house? What is the effect like? How is Saturn going to play out for the Leo rising and moon sign people? How's it going to play out? First thing we need to understand is this. When Saturn comes to the 8th house here, because the 8th house, has to do with occult too. Let me start with the occult. Now the 8th house deals with occult. Normally, when you have either Saturn in 8th house or 12th house, it kind of restricts this occult or the spiritual life of a person. It's kind of restrict them, from engaging into such things, like restrict them from, practicing such things or recognizing such things at an early age. So people who have Saturn who have Saturn here in 8th house or 12th house tend to recognize their, engage in spiritual practice, understand, have this intuitive knowledge, gain intuitive knowledge or understanding about spirituality, or engage into such things, such spirituality at the later stage of life. So how is this transit going to play out for your low rising people? Now this is it. So this is Saturn here in Pisces in 8th house. Now it's going to make these people, come to the reality of engaging into occult practices. Be it astrology, be it something, they are going to come into the reality of that. It's possible that previously they may not be engaging in all of this. They may not have been engaging in all of it, but Saturn is going to bring them into the reality of it. Reality of, engaging into such activities. So these people will start, practicalizing or practicing these related activities related to the occult spiritual practice and all that. So that's what the effect of Saturn transit will bring to the 8th house, based on, spirituality and engaging in things like that. Now, the 8th house also deals with hidden traumas and pains. I want to focus more on this, the hidden traumas and pains, because this is exactly one thing in which the Leo risings or moon sign should look out for, because the hidden traumas and pains related to the 8th house is going to affect those people to a large extent, because Saturn here is about restrictions. It's about restrictions. Why the Pisces sign, it's about releasing, surrendering. That's what the Pisces sign is all about, releasing, surrendering. Why they hate us this with eating traumas and pains. They hate us with eating traumas and pains. And what this means is this. What this means is that all the past traumas these people have been holding inside themselves, all the past traumas they have faced in their life, these people have been holding on to themselves. This can be a good time to release it. This can be a good time to surrender it. This can be a good time to experience a spiritual sense of release or relief. Experience a spiritual sense of relief. This can be a very, very good time for them. So Saturn is going to make them, go through this process, of self-healings, through all past, traumas and past traumas and all that pains they've gone through, wounds, past wounds they've gone through. Saturn is going to make them, have to process all those things and finding a way to let go and release, find a sense of relief within themselves. So this exactly explains the effect of Saturn transit in the 8th house. Now, so the inheritance, what the 8th house relates with the inheritance is this. Inheritance has to do with, because the 2nd house deals with possessions, our own possessions. Now, the 8th house here deals with other people's possessions or assets, collecting other people's stuffs. That's what the 8th house is. Now, Saturn here transit in 8th house is going to bring some kind of things like these people they are going to benefit in something in which they've left behind, or something like in which someone has left behind and they may have to take over it. Maybe a kind of property, asset, or something in which has been abandoned. They may benefit from being they may kind of benefit from owning, taking possession of such assets or property. Maybe an abandoned property, an asset in the in which is being left, so they can really benefit from taking possession of it. So this transit will really favor them on that aspect. It will favor them. So now our part is this mysteries. The mysteries. Now the 8th house is mysteries. The mysteries in terms of things we don't know, like the hidden secrets of life, the secret, because the 8th house is secret. So when Saturn comes to the 8th house here, there are so many things they come to realize, because the Pisces sign is about reality. So these people will come to the realizations of certain things which they are not aware of. So many things will come to a clearer picture to them, because the Pisces sign is illusion, fantasy. So and Saturn want to break through that illusion. So this transit is going to make us come to the realization of certain things which they are not aware of in their life. So that exactly explains the effect of Saturn transit in 8th house. Now talking about the effects of Saturn as 7th house ruler in 8th house. Now, how does this play out? Now, Saturn as 7th house ruler in 8th house is going to cause some kind of issues, but not really much of an issue, but more of the marriage life of those people is going to be going through some kind of transformations, some kind of change, some kind of transformations. And basically what this means is because those people, they're going to it's just people who are in the marriage, and then they'll be going through tough times, they'll be going through difficult times and all that, and or they'll be holding onto some things in their marriage. For example, Saturn as 7th lord in 8th house here can make someone hold on to something, in your marriage. Like maybe it's like a kind of marriage in which couples have their differences, couples have their issues and all that, but they hold on to it until the time in which they felt like they can no longer continue, or they felt like they are ready to say goodbye in the marriage. So this is exactly what the Saturn transit here is going to bring about. It's going to make these people come into looking at all those things, all these past issues in their marriage, the past, because these issues might cause them a lot of traumas, a lot of wounds, like a lot of pains. These issues in their marriage may have caused them a lot of traumas. So Saturn here is going to make them look into all these and make them look into this and feel like, is this really something in which I need to let go of, or is this something in which I need to say goodbye to? So people who have seventh lord Saturn in transiting their eighth house, we kind of like experience this during this transit period, during this period of Saturn transit in their eighth house. They're going to go through this process of either letting go of the past issues in their relationship, the past, the pains that they faced, the traumas they faced in their relationship or marriage, the traumas they either to let go or to say goodbye, to let go or to continue. So it will be a time in which they will reflect on those things and want to either stick to their marriage or end their marriage. So this is exactly what the Saturn transit here. So it's more of like a time in which they will take a whole look at everything and come to the realization that, okay, I've bear it enough, I've had enough of this, and I think it's our time. I have to say goodbye, I have to let go, because the Pisces sign is about surrendering. So he just chose to surrender, let go, or maybe it depends on certain things. Maybe if Jupiter from its natural position, from its chart, from the natural chart, or Jupiter from its position, aspects Saturn here, transiting 8th house, maybe we could give them a second thing to think about, like give them hope, like hope that, okay, maybe hope to still stay, to still stay in the marriage, hope to continue in the marriage. So that exactly explains the effect of Saturn as 7th house ruler in 8th house. Now Saturn as 6th house ruler in 8th house it will be more about the competitions, the health, because the 6th house is about competitions, rivalry, and health, and all the day-to-day life of those people. Now I want to focus on the health part, because the health part is very, very important for the Leo rising or moon sign people. Now, how does this the health plays an important role? Because the 6th house is going to the 8th house. 6th house is health. The 8th house here, it's more or less like chronic issues, or it's related to chronic issues or chronic health issues, or health kind of things, like health that can endanger one's life, is exactly the 8th house. When someone going through health issues that can endanger their life, it's exactly the 8th house. So what this means is that Saturn as 6th house ruler in 8th house, it can really create some kind of health. So kind of these people can come to the realizations of coming to like certain health could come around, like they may experience those health issues that may be very, very dangerous for them. That can be very, very dangerous for them. So it's important that whatever health issues they may be having previously, maybe past health issues they may be having previously, it's important that they look after themselves, like they take good care of themselves from time to time during this Saturn transit period. During this Saturn transit, it's important they take good care of themselves from time to time, to avoid getting into very difficult situations, or getting themselves into a serious state of health, like experiencing a serious state of health. So it's very, very important, because this Saturn as 6th house ruler in 8th house can really put them into such states, experiencing very, very serious health situations. So it's important. And also their working life, because the 6th house has to do with working life. Now, how does this work? The Saturn as 6th house ruler in the 8th house, affect these people in terms of working life? Now, the Saturn as 6th house ruler in 8th house is going to make those people want to it's going to create a lot of changes to those people working life. There's going to be change, a lot of change. Maybe some working life may be unstable, or their working life can become very intense, and it can get to the intense whereby they may feel like giving up, or wanting to change their profession, wanting to change their job from time to time. So health won't be easy, then working life too won't be easy. So, and it can also affect competitions. There are competitions in terms of how to survive in everyday life, like in terms of having to strive hard to achieve certain things, having to strive so hard to compete with others, because the Saturn here is in Pisces sign. So it means that these people, their competition life or competitive spirit kind of like maybe weakened by the Pisces sign. It can be weakened by the Pisces sign, because we know the Leo sign rising people to be very ambitious people. like go-getters people. We know them to be go-getters people. Now Saturn as the sixth house ruler in Pisces in 8 hours can make them become like few kind of like less competitive. It can make them become reserved or make them become not really ambitious the way they should be. So it can make them really kind of like not to know going all out to achieve what they want due to Saturn transit in Pisces in 8 hours. So that really explains the effect of Saturn as sixth house ruler in 8 hours. So these are the things I like to share. These are the things, and these are my analysis regarding this Saturn transit in Pisces for your rising and moon sign. So another thing, like I always say, is this. Another thing that I always say is this, that it's probably important to take note of. Is that Saturn, we need to look at Saturn aspect. Top from it is 10th house. Then 7th from it seventh from it is second house. 7th from it is second house, yeah. Then 10th from it is fifth house. So we need to look at any planet occupying either 10th, 2nd, 5th from Saturn position. It's very important, because I also see any planet occupying 8th house here, because this will kind of like play an important role in understanding how the effect of Saturn is going to be, how Saturn is going to play its role, how it's going to affect us on long term, because Saturn is going to stay for 2.5 years. So it's important to understand how this things is going to play out. So yes, that's it for the Saturn transit. And also we need to understand that it's very, very effective, very effective for people who are going through their Saturn dasha, Atardasha, and Pratyatara dasha. So it's become very, very effective for people who are going through this period. So this transit, very, very intense. It's going to be very intense for people, for Leo rising people or moon sign people that are going through Saturn dasha or Atardasha or Pratyatara dasha. So I've come to the end of the video. Thank you for, if you watch up to this moment, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you do well to subscribe to my video, and also I appreciate if you can put in some comment, like because I like to see more lots of comment, because lately I haven't been seeing any comments. So I like to see people commenting, asking questions there. Feel free to ask questions on anything you don't understand, and I'll be willing to attend to your questions. So we have come to the end of the video regarding the Saturn transit in Pisces for Leo rising. So another time we talk about the effect of Saturn transit in Pisces for Virgo rising. So that's it for now. Bye for now. See you later next time. Thank you.
Like, share, subscribe.
Thank you for watching.